In this video, we're going to look at a quick way of getting a professional looking email address for your small business. Now, there are other ways of doing this, and there are possibly better ways of doing this that are more complicated. And if you've got your own website already with a domain name, you'll need to do this slightly differently because you won't be doing this first step. But this is a way, if you are currently using a freebie email address for your business, here is a way that you can have a professional email address set up within about 5 minutes. So what we're going to be doing is first and foremost buying a domain name. Now this could be used for a website for yourself, either now or later, but all we're going to do at the moment is show you how to use it for its email address capabilities. If you're in the UK, I recommend you come to this website, which is heartinternet.uk, and that's because for people in the UK, I recommend you buy a .co.uk domain name. If you're in America or any other country, I recommend you use this website, which is namecheap.com. And in there you look for a .com email address. So what we're going to do, we'll come back to Heart Internet here, and in this box at the top you need to search for your business name. Now of course, if your business name is a common name, so if it was something like Smith Plumbing, there is a chance that somebody has already grabbed smithplumbing.co.uk. So you may have to try a few varieties of your name. You could include the town, so it could be Smith Plumbing Derby, for example, or something like that. You might need to try a few variations. Now, I don't want to get into the best way to look for a domain name in this. I just want to show you how to actually set up the email address. So let's, for example, suggest that you were a company called Jacobson Electrical. All we do is we type in there Jacobson Electrical, hit the enter button on your keyboard, and this will go through and do a search and see if the domain name is available. Now I suggest if you're in the UK you have a .co.uk, and you see there we've got the tick, so jacobsonelectrical.co.uk is available. If you wanted the .com version, that is already taken, you couldn't have that. There are lots of other versions as well, but most people in the UK expect and look for a .co.uk version, so I would definitely recommend you do that. And you can purchase this either for 2 years at a cost of £6.98, and the cheapest you could pay is for 1 year, which is £4.99. So you can please yourself which of these. You could go for 10 years if you wanted at £34.90. But if you wanted to go as cheap as possible, 1 year, but make your own choice as to which you want to go for. Press the select button there and simply add that to your basket. And all you'd need to do is go through the process of checkout and actually purchase that domain name. So I'm sure I don't need to show you how to actually go through and pay for a domain name here. So I'm going to assume you've now done that. I'm going to log into my account at Heart Internet. They will obviously, when you buy for the first time here, they'll give you an account. And once you've got your domain name, you then just log into your account. So I'll do that now. And then on the inside, I can show you what we need to do next. Okay, here we are within my customer area in my Heart Internet account, and we need to go to our manage domain names section. So you've got two options. Down the right hand side you can look at manage domain names, or here in this middle section there's manage domain names there. So choose either of those and let's go into it. What you then need to do is in this manage domain parking section here, in the drop down menu you'll need to just find the domain name you've just purchased in there. Now if you've only just bought one domain name, there will just be one in there. Now obviously I didn't buy Jacobson Electrical because that is no use to me at all. So I'm now going to use a domain that I already own, which is called teosupdates.co.uk, and I'm going to use that to follow through for this demonstration. So just select your domain name from the drop down and then click Manage Now. That then brings us into this page here, And the one thing we need to do is click on email forwarding. We click on there and we come to this section here. And then this section here is very, very easy to fill in and add what we need. Now this will actually have the name of your domain that you've just purchased here. So that would be, in our example, jacobsonelectrical.co.uk, for example. And what we need to do here is decide on the email address that we want to use. So it's always going to be something at, in our example, teosupdates.co.uk. So you might want this to have your name, so it might want to be Chris at teosupdates.co.uk or Chris at jacobsonelectrical.co.uk. Or if you want it to be a generic one, I very often will use info, and it is quite a normal one that will be used. So what we're thinking here is this will be what can go on all of your advertising. So if you were doing a flyer, if you want it on the side of your van, any promotions you do, adverts, people would always be using this email address, and so it would look professional for your business, professional for you. So you could have info. I've seen some people have hello at. I don't particularly like that, but normally it would be info, or if you want them to send it to you personally, you might want to have Chris or Steve or whatever. So you decide on what you want in there. And then up here, this is where you put your existing email address. So if you are steve73456 at hotmail.com, you put that in that box there. So all we're doing here, we're setting up an email forwarding system. So you will be able to display on all your advertising your new professional looking email. And when somebody sends an email to that address, all that happens is this system that you've just purchased sends that email to your old email address. So you will still receive the email in exactly the same place, but when you display the email address, it's going to look professional. It's going to look like it was intended for your business rather than a strange freebie email address. So all you do is put your existing email address in this box at the top. You'll put whatever you want to be your prefix to your email address there. Don't click either of these buttons here, we don't need those, and then we click update now. And that's it. At the bottom here, it will show you that's your email address for all your advertising, and that's where it's going to be sent to. So there is a lot more you could do with this. You could have numerous different email addresses if you wanted to. You could have them for different people within your company, so that Steve goes to one particular email address, Chris goes to another email address. You can have as many of those as you like. You can obviously amend these, delete them, and etc. But basically, that is it. We have set up now a professional looking email address. You could then copy this, keep a note of it, and that could go on all of your advertising, and you would look far more professional from then on.